How's it going, everybody, man? My name is Michael Sedetol, and this is the Set It Off Network, man. I got a great episode for you guys today, man. I hope you guys really enjoy this one because I took a lot of time. I did my research, and hopefully you guys see that, man, because you're going to learn about some things maybe you didn't know. You're going to learn some new stuff about stuff you thought you know. Or maybe you're just going to watch this and be like, this dude literally said everything that I watched already. Like, I don't know. Maybe you guys follow recruiting just as closely as I do, as the former LSU Recruiting HQ, now known as the Set It Off Network. We followed recruiting pretty closely. I don't know if you guys really know my backstory, but my backstory, I used to make the recruiting edits for a lot of the high school kids. Kind of took off with the recruiting thing. Getting insight here and there, made a lot of connections doing that. And it really turned into what it is today and what we're calling the Set It Off Network, you know. Now y'all just listen to me yap and complain about stuff LSU does majority of the year. But today we got a special episode. This one is all about the top 5 decommitments from the history of LSU recruiting. Now you're probably gonna be at the end of this video, you're gonna be like, the history, like what are you talking about? You did cover 7 years. Yeah, well, you gotta remember, this recruiting world has completely changed immensely in the last 10 years, right? I was digging through this stuff and I couldn't find a decommitment until about 2014. On 24/7's website is what I used to keep kind of track of all that stuff. They do a really good job over there of keeping track of the decommitments and stuff. And we're in, there was a bunch of players that committed to LSU, decommitted from LSU, and recommitted. And then there was guys that. We're just going to talk about the guys that were committed to LSU and then took their talent somewhere else. And we're going to start it off. We're going to do our top 5. We're going to start at 5 and work our way to the number 1. I think you guys probably got a name in mind. We'll see if y'all get it right, though. We're going to start off with number 5, though. Number 5 is a name you're not going to know at all. I already know, unless you follow college football, religiously, or maybe you're a Georgia fan or a Titans fan, or maybe you're just a diehard Saints fan, because believe it or not, this player is technically on the Saints right now. I believe he's on the practice squad. But it all counts for the same thing. We're going to talk about Monty Rice, a guy out of Alabama, a low 3-star kid, top 300 player, was committed to Dave Aranda and that defensive staff in the year of 2017. So he was around that Devin White era, man. And just thinking in my head, him and Devin White, playing in the same linebacker group, that's kind of crazy to think about. And this kid flipped on National Signing Day. He ended up choosing the University of Georgia. Like I said, a kid from Alabama, Georgia, kind of the local school right there on the border where he's from. And this kid was really good. He had a slow starting career. As a 3-star guy, he got into UGA and had a slow start. Didn't play very much as a freshman or sophomore, but then he burst onto the scene. His junior year in 2019, he was all SEC. He had tons of tackles, and he ended up returning for his 2020 season. After that tremendous 2019 season, he played in 9 games out of the 10. I believe they played in 10 or 11 that year. It was weird with the COVID stuff. And then he ended up being a 3rd-round draft pick by the Tennessee Titans, 92nd overall player taken in the draft. So a guy who has a lot of talent, had the intangibles to become a top 3 level player, and that is why he was featured at number 5 on our list, just because of the success his career turned out to, and how that could have changed if he would have went to LSU, or how it could have differed, maybe for the better or for the worse, right? The number 4 guy is going to be a name that majority of the people that follow LSU's program today know about, and this guy is currently at one of LSU's rivals. I don't know if he's still in the portal. He was in the portal, and everybody thought he was going to LSU, but the transfer rules prohibit that from happening this year. And it's Jacoby Matthews. And I know a lot of you guys are saying, Jacoby Matthews only played 2 seasons at Texas A&M. How in the world does he make this list? It wasn't that long of a list, guys. I promise. I went and did my research. It was not that long of a list. And Jacoby Matthews fits the mold for my criteria because of the importance of that position at the time. This was 2021, right? You think about Jacoby Matthews on these last two LSU teams. As a freshman and sophomore at A&M, he was tremendous. So, like, him being at LSU would have been a big deal because he would 100% be playing meaningful snaps and be one of the better players on that defense. So, a guy who started or played in 21 games in his first 2 years, he had 10 starts. Like I said, from Louisiana, the Ponchatoula area, he was a 5-star, like committed to LSU, decommitted from LSU, ends up going to A&M. We all kind of know why, right? A&M was in the middle of their little bag chasing thing, and he chased the money, all right? But, you know, we wish kids nothing but the best, right? They make these decisions. I don't make these decisions. It's not my life, it's theirs. So I'm not going to trash a kid for whatever decision he makes, even though fans do it all the time, and it really irks me. We're not doing that on here. We're not talking bad about any of these kids. This is more talk about the success that these guys have had. And like Jacoby Matthews has had a very successful career at Texas A&M so far, and that is why he falls at number 4 because of how high profile of a recruit he was. It was a huge miss by the staff and the success he's having at Texas A&M. I'm sorry, guys. I'm a little under the weather today, so just excuse me. While we roll on here to number 3. Number 3 might be one that surprises you as well. Kind of fits the line of the defensive back situation, right? And it is going to be Nathaniel Wiggins, or Nate Wiggins for short. A guy from Atlanta, the Georgia area. He was a huge commit. He committed to LSU. I was super excited because he was actually underrated at the time he committed. And I saw, like, flashes of him playing in high school, and I was like, there's no way this kid, he's super long, super athletic, like he was going to be a tremendous corner. I was super excited for LSU to get him, but the reason he made this list is because he did not end up at LSU. Decommitted on the early signing day of 2020, flipped his commitment from LSU to Clemson, the worst of the two Tigers. Well, there's more than one Tiger. There's more than two Tigers, but you know what I mean. Ends up going to Clemson, but this guy's career kind of, I mean, he got drafted in the first round of this past draft. Like, he was a top 30 pick, but the numbers don't jump off the page to you. He didn't play very much as a freshman, didn't play that much as a sophomore, but his junior year he played in every game. He was 2023 All-ACC, had 3 interceptions, was a good corner, man, but I think he got drafted more on the intangibles. Like I was telling you, the size, the speed, all that stuff kind of played into the factor of where he got drafted. He ended up getting picked 30th overall, first-round pick of the Ravens in 2024. So a guy like that, in a time like LSU needed corners, like that is why he is on the list, and that's why him and Jacoby Matthews are really on this list. That reason alone, because these guys are plug-and-play guys, and imagine what the secondary would have been with them, and we have to visualize what it would have been because they decided LSU wasn't good enough for them. Second on this list is I think he's underrated. If you follow recruiting, you know he's completely not underrated. Or if you follow college football in general, like to the detail, like you know this kid is elite. Like the highest drafted kid on this list. Like I said, he already been drafted. This is going to be Kenyon Green out of Texas. He decommitted from LSU in 2017. He was in the class of 2019, so he committed very early in his recruiting process, decommitted, opened it back up, ends up going to A&M. He's from Texas. He was a 5-star offensive lineman, one of the best players in the entire country. I really thought LSU was going to land him. I did not want him to go to A&M because this was at a time where LSU desperately needed offensive linemen. And this kid went to A&M and just balled out. Like, he was so good. He played almost every single game in all 3 years. He played all 13 games as a true freshman. In 2019, he was a freshman All-American. He was a semifinalist for the Outland Trophy as a sophomore, and he was a 2-time All-American his sophomore and junior year. Like, this kid was elite. This kid started 35 games in 3 years, was the 15th overall pick by the Texans in 2022, and is making a good career in the NFL. And this kid's going to have tons of success. I believe he's battling for a starting position as we speak on the Texans offensive line, which is already one of the best units in college or in the NFL right now. So like, this guy was a dude, and this was at a time where like LSU's offensive line was really struggling. Like the 2019 season, yes, LSU was good, won the national championship and all that stuff, but the 2020-21, LSU couldn't block a soul, and this was an interior offensive lineman that was grounded, pound, and just dominated. Tons of SEC offensive lineman player of the week awards. Like, this kid was just unreal in college, and boy, I sure would have liked to know what he would have looked like in purple and gold. But instead, he made the list, man, and we all know why by now, because he did not come to LSU. And that is why he is number 2 on the list. All right, let me get a drink of water again, because like I said, man, my throat's killing me right now. But we're grinding through it, man. We're grinding through it. All right, number 1. Drum roll. The first name that should have popped up in y'all's mind when I said decommitment in LSU should have been this name, and that is the man, the myth, the legend, Dylan Moses. Boy, it hurts. It still hurts to this day, man. Gosh, man, he was so good in high school, a 5-star from Baton Rouge, committed to LSU and Les Miles, but the rumors were swirling that Les Miles was getting fired, man. He goes to IMG, and as soon as he went to IMG, I was like, no, please don't go to IMG. Stay in Baton Rouge. Stay home. Stay close to campus. We can't have you going out there and experiencing the rest of the world. And he did that, and with all the rumors and stuff going on with Les Miles and the underachievement of the team, he decided to back off his commitment, and yes, as many of you know, he committed to the Alabama Crimson Tide, which was like a shot to the heart, man. Like, this is our guy. This is our 5-star, one of the top players in the country, best linebacker in the country by far. Oh, man, a kid from U-High, like on LSU's campus, University High School in Baton Rouge. This kid goes to Bama, and not only does he go to Bama, he's a lead at Bama. 2017 Bama commit, right? 5-star, all that good stuff. He was a 2017 freshman All-American. He didn't play very much, but he played a lot. Or he didn't. I lie. He didn't start a lot his freshman year, but he played a ton and got that freshman All-American. And then 2018, he was second-team All-American again, led Bama in tackles, was a finalist for the Butkus Award, 86 tackles in a year, which is a ton. I don't know where he ranked in the SEC rankings, but you saw the potential of this kid. Like, you thought for sure, like, this is a bona fide first-round pick. Like, it's him and Devin White. Like, those were the 2 elite linebackers in the SEC at that time. And just picturing them on the same team just breaks my heart even more. 2019, the big news, he tore his ACL, which kind of derailed his career in a way, because he came back for that 2020 season, won the national championship with Alabama, led them in tackles again, but he ended up going undrafted. And I'm not completely sure if it was something off the field, it was injury stuff. He tried out for the Jacksonville Jaguars, made the team as an unrestricted free, or signed with them as an unrestricted free agent, but didn't last very long in the league. I believe he plays in the UFL now, but Dylan Moses for sure is one of those guys where a hometown kid, man, everybody wanted him to go to LSU. He was committed to LSU for a super long time, late in the decision, kind of got in his ear that Les Miles might not be there very much longer, and he opened his recruitment, and Bama swooped in and got him. And he helped Bama win a lot. A lot in that time. That 2017 to 2020 time period, Alabama won a lot of games, including whooping LSU's behind 3 out of those 4 years. So he had tons of success in college, but the reason why he's number 1 on our list is just the significance of him being from Baton Rouge, man. Like, it was the one that hurt the most. Like, and this was a kid, you know, obviously it all worked out with him and his career. Like, he had a tremendous career at Alabama. I'm not knocking him for going there. Devin White had a tremendous career at LSU while he was at LSU, or while they were both in school at the same time. But, like, just picturing them two together, like, Man, that's a scary defense right there, and that is why Dylan Moses is number one on our list. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, man. I had a ton of fun making it for you guys and getting that research out there for you guys. I hope you guys let me know if I missed anybody, man. There's gonna be some honorable mentions in here, like a couple guys like Jermaine Burton, Raheem Jarrett was on this list. McKinley Jackson, a defensive lineman from went to Texas A&M, but Bryce Anderson, a kid that's currently at Texas now, kind of fits in that Jacoby Matthews range. But we didn't add him to the list, man. We were kind of strict on our criteria. These were the 5 we picked. Let me know what you guys think, man. Let me know if you guys think I'm wrong. Let me know if you guys think I'm right. Let me know if you think I missed anybody, because that's a very good possibility that some of that information I was looking up wasn't accurate, because recruiting is so hard to follow. And if you follow recruiting, you know, like these kids decommit and commit like it's nobody's business nowadays. So I probably missed a bunch of people. Let me know in the comments. If you're still watching, man, subscribe to the channel. Like, do us a huge favor. Subscribe to the channel. Do all that fun stuff. Follow us on X, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, everything. Just follow us, man. I'm Michael Said It All, man. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have a blessed rest of your week.